lines. Today we're going to look at some more trackage in Indiana, and right now we are looking at the Elkhart and Western. This is in Indiana, of course. The Elkhart and Western runs from Elkhart to Mishawaka. This is just east of Ash Road, the St. Joe Elkhart County line, and this is a cement plant that was there in 1991. In fact, there still is a cement plant there. This is a look at the trackage around that area. That is looking eastward there. There is more businesses down that way towards Elkhart. A good look at the track work here. You can see the dusting of the cement and sand type aggregates that are used there. It's looking eastward there again. There is some business down that way. This was in early 90s. Conrail operated this at that time, and the track still went as far west as Elder Road. We'll be looking at that location here shortly. This is still operated today, but it is now the Elkhart and Western, a Pioneer Rail Corp operation that handles this. There you can see a tarp down there over the unloading pit. They had a few switches and sidings here. This is still a active customer. In fact, right now in 2019, this is the farthest west active customer on the line. The line still is active west of here, as I mentioned, to just past Bittersweet. Now we are at Elder Road. The track was still in place at this time. I don't believe it was operated this far. Right up ahead, looking east toward McKinley, you see traffic crossing down there. There was a lumber yard there that was served for a while in the 80s, but I think that already ended at this time. You can see part of the rail is missing there. It looks like scavengers and metal scavengers were already starting to take pieces of the rail. This is looking west from Elder Road. There was a switch there at one time and a spur to a business. I don't know when that was used. There you see what the then end of the track was at the last cutoff point. Again, that's looking westward towards Mishawaka. Now we are in Medaryville, Indiana. This is the remains of the Monon, which ran from Michigan City down to Monon. And this is the northernmost part of that line in 91. CSX operated it at this time. There's a grain elevator there that you see in Medaryville, and they have a siding. Pretty good kink in that rail there, but some of that is exaggerated by the telephoto lens. There's looking northward toward Michigan City. That was the end of the line, and still pretty much is today. This track is still here, and CSX still operates it. Better look there at the track work. This was a pretty nice straight piece of track from Michigan City down to Monon. It was kind of noted for being almost straight as an arrow. Not really any curves of any consequence at all on this line. Looks like they have a passing siding set up there in order to work those cars at the grain elevator. The track north of here to Michigan City was removed sometime in the 80s. This is another customer on the line. This is now south of Medaryville, somewhere between Medaryville and Monon, probably around the Francisville area. Some form of a petroleum distributor or farm supply company or something like that. The track really didn't look all that good at that time. It didn't seem like they were really doing a lot to it. I think it has been upgraded many times since, because I believe it looks a lot better now, at least looking at the satellite photos. But there was some active business on it. think that is looking south because it looks pretty bright. There you can see remnants of a switch that used to be. A lot of open farmland in this area still. Not sure what road that was. Looks like possibly ammonia or something along that nature. Fertilizer supplies perhaps, or maybe even some type of liquid petroleum. This looked to be some kind of aggregate type operation there. It seems like those tracks were still used and active, but there weren't any kind of freight around at this time. A quarry operation, something like that. Satellite still shows a bunch of that kind of activity around there. But the tracks were definitely used at that time. There was no question about that. Another spur leading to a business. Now we are in Monon. This is where the north-south Monon line crossed the northwest to southeast line that came through here. Both Monon, this of course is all CSX in the early 90s, and it's all CSX here still today. A plaque there describing what we're looking at. Merged with Louisville and Nashville in 1971. And of course Louisville and Nashville became part of CSX sometime in the 80s, as well as B&O, C&O, and the Seaboard system. A lot of folks don't know that that's what CSX stands for. Seaboard and Jesse together is what that symbolized. That mystifies some people. Like, what does CSX mean? But they've got this little exhibit set up here. Now, south of here, this track runs down to Monticello. We'll be looking at that shortly. Down in the Monticello area. That was still operated by CSX at this time. But soon after, the part south of Monticello was abandoned and the track removed, but it's still here on this visit in the early 90s. Look at the kind of connection track there between the two lines. A caboose on exhibit. I believe that is still there today. Look at the track work. Monon history. Some freight business in the area. The fact that CSX still operates this north to Medaryville kind of gives a good indication that there must still be enough business, or they would have at least spun it off on a short line by now. This now is in Monticello. What you would kind of call street trackage. I guess it's not technically, since it's not really embedded in the pavement, but for me it's still considered street trackage. That was still in place at this time, but was shortly abandoned hereafter in the early 90s. south part of Monticello, where the track swung off to the southeast and then headed across the Tippecanoe River. There is the Tippecanoe River Bridge, which was still up at this time. That has been removed since, after the abandonment of the line. Probably sometime in the 90s, I'm guessing, when they took the bridge down. I don't know how quick they did that after the line was abandoned. But already then, it really looked like it was not in the best of condition. I'm not sure if the line was operated still at this time when I shot this video or not. As I recall, there was a little bit of a shine on the rails, so I mean, at any rate, it was not long after when the line was abandoned. It's like we have somebody out there on the abutment. How they got out there, I mean, they must have climbed all the way across. Interesting. Unless there's any kind of ladder works over there that you can climb down from the top, I'm not sure. But a very historical structure. There's a lot on that as far as pictures. I don't know if there's any other video or not. Again, Monticello, Indiana. I believe that is all gone, even the abutments. Surprising they didn't make a trail out of it or something. Now we are at the same line there in Monticello, where it crosses the TP&W. That's the TP&W there we are looking at there now, running east and west, and of course this Monon line runs north and south. The part south of here we're looking at there right now, that's what is abandoned and gone. That kind of ran down the street there. The north part is still pretty much there and was operated by CSX still at that time, but now the Elkhart and Western, a pioneer company, operates the line north of here up to Monon. There is still, I believe, 1 or 2 customers on that line. It's another YouTube channel called GMF Train Videos. They have some current shots of the E&W operating this line north of here, and they even have one that shows some of the right-of-way of this area. I think they show the remaining bridge abutments. There is looking up north again, I believe. Yeah, I believe that is the north part of the line, heading up towards Monon. There is the TP&W. Things have changed quite a bit there since this has been shot. Looks like there were more sightings there at that time. I think the TP&W is just pretty much a straight through right now in 2019. And that does it for this video. This is just a little teaser of the next one, which will be the Logansport Nell River. We'll have some look around there in the early 90s and talk about that a little bit. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you see some value in this old stuff. If you do, like, subscribe, keep passing the word, and we will keep doing these bits and pieces. Again, thanks for watching.